Alright, CNT120 online students, we're going to take a few minutes and do a quick crash course on our MindTap product we'll be using in conjunction with our class this semester. So I'm going to start by going right to the content page, and you're going to notice that pretty much the second little module in here, we have the week 1 getting started, all the general stuff about class. The second module we have here is MindTap Cengage module help. This is a section of the content of our semester that anything MindTap related is in here. The video you're watching right now is a link that's going to show up here once I link it in, and what you're going to want to do to get started in MindTap after you watch this video is you're going to work your way down through these links until you get up and going. I have a couple tidbits here on some things about MindTap. You'll notice that about logging in and getting started. This is a little helpful guide to get you going. After that, there is a video from actual MindTap themselves on how to get yourself registered and set up the first time. This is very helpful. The first minute and a half is an advertisement for their new Cengage Unlimited product. Okay, fine. After that point, it walks you through logging in here to your D2L and then getting going in the system. That is very helpful to get you up and going. I will be pointing you to that. After that is a system check. Run this on your system at home. I'm going to do mine right now. What it does is a quick check on your browser, JavaScript, cookies, Flash, pop-ups, all that stuff, making sure all this is tuned that MindTap will work with your system. So do that. And one little helpful hint, if you're having trouble in blah browser, use a different blah browser. So if you normally use IE and you're having troubles, maybe try Firefox. If you normally use Firefox and having trouble, use Chrome kind of thing. A lot of times that helps get rid of a lot of problems very quickly. But run your little tune up there, your system check. After that, after the system check, then I actually have a link into MindTap. This is a link, the course I've created for you, and I've linked it into D2L. That way you don't have to be using 3 different portals to get in. So once you've worked through this registration process, your system check, you should be able to link in right into MindTap right from this link right here. Okay. Before I go there, I have a link here about the mobile app. You can install a mobile app on your phone and have access to MindTap on the go. That's handy for reading and running flashcards. And down below here I have, as the semester goes, as we run into little hiccups, I'll be building little technical support pages, if you will. As we run into things, I make little files on the go saying, hey, do this to help with this module, do this to help with this module. Okay? So once you've watched the registration video, once you've done your little system check, hit your link here, and this is going to launch a separate window that is going to take you into the actual MindTap product. Okay, what you'll find, now this is the kind of the teacher view, but your view is very similar. On the left here is all the chapters of the whole book. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Okay, there's all the chapters of the book. Up top, there's a little bit of getting started information. Some of these might be helpful to you. I'm not requiring that you do any of those, but those could be helpful to you, getting started, etc. I'm going to start off by opening just chapter 1 here. So if you open up one of our chapters, you'll find a couple things in there. You actually find under the read, here is actually this is a preview, here is actually the textbook in ebook format. So you could sit here and read through the textbook in e-format here, which some of you might be doing this semester because of using the ebook. You will also find sometimes they have pictures and files here to help you. I'm going to skip over the virtual machine labs for just a minute. I'm going to go down here under study. Here's a review. Here is a reinforce, and there's also a there's a review main concepts with some review module with some PowerPoints in. The reinforce, this is their flashcards. Some of you might really find these helpful to go through and start learning or helping with the terms in our course. And then there's a little crossword puzzle. And down under apply, I think they actually have a quiz for you to take. Okay? Now, so those are available to you pretty much in every chapter of the book. So please feel free to use any of those to help you during the semester. Now, what you're also going to notice is next to these, you'll see practice, practice. These are not graded assignments down here. Okay? None of these are graded assignments. They're just there for you to help you. I'm now going to open the Unit 1. Let me close these guys up, apply and study and all that jazz, okay? I'm now going to open up the Unit 1 live virtual machine. Next to this, you'll notice it says counts toward grade. This is one of the labs you'll need to do that counts for a grade in our CNT120 class. So I have it marked as such, counts towards grade. I'll open up chapter 2 down here and show you the same thing, counts towards grade, okay? So that'll be a clue to know, oh yeah, that's the one I need to do. Now, while I'm on that, let me pause for a second. I'm going to go back to our D2L. Let me go back to our D2L, and I'm going to pull up Chapter 1, if you will. I'll go in here to our Chapter 1 of the semester, and under the Read, Watch, Do, if you remember the Do section down here, here's the Read, Watch, under Do. Here's the quiz you need to do for me in D2L. Right below it, you'll see Lab 1, blah, blah, blah. This is a link into MindTap Lab. This is the link to the MindTap Lab. So this is the lab in this MindTap Lab 1.1 right here that you need to do to count for a grade. So I actually have anything you need to do in MindTap, I have linked into D2L for you, okay? But this right here counts towards grade, and if I go over here and see this, that's what this is. That's the link into that lab. All right, let me fire that guy up real quickly. And I'll see if I can get you a little crash course in this. This is going to give you an overview, okay? You'll notice I've done it before, but I'm going to go in and do it again. You can do these labs as many times as you want. And as far as I know, it always retains the highest score, okay? I'm going to go back to, I'll go to start again. It looks like I was partway through. You sure you want to? Yes, let's yes and delete. I'll restart. Over on the left is the introduction and information you need to do these modules, okay? So we'll use this to give us a clue of what we're doing. The middle window here, these are actually links to turn on and off virtual machines that are going to run for you. These are actually different types of virtual machines. Here's a Windows 10 virtual machine, here's a web server. Different modules you're going to do need different things running over here. And once they get up and running, they show up here as a window for you to use. Okay, so how to do these, you'll read through the information here. You might need to turn on and off virtual machines here and do activities over here on this virtual machine. So as I look down through it, says like, okay, you're going to work with some stuff on the OSI. Here's the objectives you're going to have. Here's the exam objectives, things you're tackling. And this says here it's going to take about an hour. Well, I've been finding these are about right on the money. So these little time indicators are about right. So if you see it needs an hour and you don't have an hour, don't start it. Work on it another time. As far as I know, it does retain your progress though, because I did one of these and came back later and picked up where I left off. That's why it said that. And down here under help and support, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'm going to, I think my forward button is down here off the screen. So let me try something real quick. I need to, I think my recording window is kind of smaller for you guys. Let me try this. There we go. There's my, down here at the bottom, there's a next. Here's my next button, so I will do that. Now I'll let that load, and this is going to show you the topology you're going to use, and this gives you all kinds of background on it. Here's the machines you're going to use, the different exercises or different devices you're going to use. So eventually you're going to be turning them on and off. Down here eventually we're going to use the web server. So down here next to web server, if I hold on to it, it says power on. So when it tells you I can turn that on. I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to show you another really good, valuable tip here. Now, one way you can do this is you can read through this as it tells you. Task 1, do these things. Task 2, do these things, so forth. You can read through that way. Some of you are going to find it easier if you come down here and click the almost this printer-friendly content. It takes these directions and pops them open in a new tab for you that it's a lot easier to read. This was all the stuff on that first page. Here's the exercise 1. Here's that review. Here's that. Here's task 3. Okay. This is a lot easier to view. So on some of these virtual labs, I actually popped open the directions here in this new tab so they weren't so small to read. That made my life a lot easier. so I could follow along. You can see this is a bigger version of what I had on the left over there. Now it's going to say, okay, I need to make sure I have the domain controller and Windows 10 on, and I'm going to do things. Okay, so I have the domain controller on, and I need Windows 10 on down here, so I will turn that on. I'll let that boot up, and then I'll work through my tasks. And what I'm going to need to do is just follow along with it tells me to do, and it's going to give you little pictures. Do this, open this, do this, open this, and they're having you work through tasks related to what you're reading about in the book in these little virtual machines, which is pretty cool. And as you go along, at times they're going to have you take a screenshot. As you go along, when you get towards the end, they're going to have you answer some quiz questions, and then you'll submit it all, and it'll grade you on, if you're complete, it'll grade you on completion of the exercise. Okay, so there's a super quick overview of getting up and going in this, and most of these are really slick. They have you do some really neat things in here. So here's the virtual machine labs. Okay, I'll say I'm done here for now. It won't be complete. It's okay, I'm done. And if I am actually done working on something, I can close this and it'll close that out for me. Well, once I've actually completed it, it should score for you, and this will actually send the score back to D2L for you. I haven't set up the link like that. These should be showing up in the D2L gradebook when you have completed them. Okay, so there's kind of getting up and going in MindTap, getting in here, kind of working your way around. You'll notice on the right there's a couple other tools for you to use. There is some other things in here that might be valuable to you, flashcards and dictionary and glossary of terms and that sort of thing. Feel free to use them. That's why they are here. All this stuff is at your disposal this semester. Okay, so there is a super quick kind of get up and get going in your MindTap virtual product for the semester.